capturing life's essential ingredients, one story at a time. We speak, or more so, listen, to all types of people, hoping to inform, inspire, and transform lives, hoping to build community, one community at a time. This is Life's Essential Ingredients with Jeff and the Mike. All right. Hey, welcome to the show, Life's Essential Ingredients. And let me get the first thing very crystal clear. The mic is not a microphone. It is my best friend, Mike Sestich, who lives down in San Pedro, my college roommate. We've known each other, since 1987. And I'm so excited to get to do this podcast with you and figure out what are life's essential ingredients. And so welcome to the show, Mike. And why don't you introduce yourself and share anything else you want?
Oh, well, thank you. My name is Mike Sestich, and now that I've been dated, I'm feeling pretty old. Thanks for that. And man, super excited to be here. Can't wait to get this whole thing going and see where it ends up.
Yeah, no, me too. And just with all the COVID stuff, normally Mike and I would see each other 5, 6, 7 times a year at least. We're best friends, talk on the phone almost every day. And I've been missing you. And so this just gives us an excuse at least to be able to see you on the Zoom and see how you're doing. Other than when we're not playing cards and you're taking all my money.
All your pretend money? Yeah, I'm rich in pretend money.
Exactly. But yeah, really excited to have this time with you. And I think this show is going to be fun because we're both great with people and we love people and we love listening to stories and sharing stories. And I think we're at a point in our life where we can take some insight that we've had and then also take some insight from our guests and help kind of bring that out to really focus on what's truly essential for their happiness, their success, and then how the listeners can take that essential ingredient and make it part of their life recipe. So I'm really excited for that. And I think the first thing I would love to talk to you about is just, friendship and maybe tell people, because this first show is kind of more so about us and how we met. And obviously we're best friends. But yeah, why don't you tell people how we met and maybe a little bit about the friendship?
Yeah, my first recollection of us meeting was up at USF. We both signed on there to play basketball. And one of the initial things we had to do was go up there before school started. I want to say it was summertime, and we had to take our placement exams. And we had to take one in English and math. And that's the first time I met you. And what sticks out most is we took a English exam first, if I recall correctly. I don't know, 45-minute, hour exam, whatever it was. And we were both in there most of the time. And then it came to the math exam, and I think you were in there all of 5 minutes. And you said, I've had enough of this. I was like, what?
Secrets.
I'm sorry. Are we not supposed to talk about that?
No. Yeah, Matt.
My bad. So no, but fast forward, it's an inspiration to see how bright you are now. I don't think you started off that bright. I'm not going to lie. School wise, life wise, you were way ahead of the game. School wise, though, you started a little bit in the back of the pack.
Definitely. School did not come easy. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I always had to work hard, never truly felt comfortable in the class. One and one usually wasn't a quick two for me. It took me a while. But yeah, I wouldn't say I'm too much smarter now, just a little bit wiser and a little bit more gray and a little bit more experienced.
But
So,
the one thing that always standed out with how good you were with people, even back then, I can remember you just willing to go out and do anything with anyone. With our buddy Pat Giusti, went to a concert right off the bat. I remember you were doing the Big Brother and bringing the kids over to the room to hang out. And yeah, you were always out and about and trying to include everyone. I think that's just in your DNA. I know you got a lot of that love for people from your mom and everything, and then that's what made it easy for me because I was not outgoing and being a shy guy. I think early on, I think you helped me out like that, just watching you. So I appreciate that. Thank you, man.
It's definitely a two-way street, my Pacho. I always think back to the first couple nights we were going out, and you had those white shoes that were just too much to even look at, so bright. And then Mike, very good-looking man, and I forget what he did. I barely even had any hair and did anything to it, and he had a couple cans of hairspray, some gel. And
Moose had some moose.
made it work and look amazing. And it's so funny, So this show, I guess, is really going to be about friendship. And it's funny, we're both 51. I'm a few days older than Mike, and he always gets,
Old man.
yeah, my birthday's July 2nd, and he's a couple days later that I hate to admit to. So he always tells me that I'm the old man of the group. But it's really fun to think back to when we were 18, just meeting each other, trying to figure out who we are, and now 51 and hosting this show, Life's Essential Ingredients. And this is going to sound really bad, but it's the truth. We're still trying to figure out, what are those essential ingredients? Because I think they change as we go through life. And I know for sure for me, mine are still trying to be focused around family, what I'm trying to do as a profession, how I'm trying to help people, and still trying to figure it out. So I'm really excited for the show because I think as we learn, the listeners are going to learn. We're going to get some incredible guests on the show that can share their insight again with the listener, and it's going to be really fun. But let's jump. I'm going to put you on the spot here, my Pacho, and let me tell you what that is first. You're going to hear me call Mike Pacho the majority of the time. And at some point, way back when we were young, we dated some sisters. And I'm not going to get into all the details, but Mike is Croatian. And a Croatian word for brother in law is Pacho. And so we've called each other Pacho for I don't know how many years, forever. So, yeah, he's my Pacho.
Not sure.
So, ah, Pacho,
Huh.
I have a question for you. Mike, I'll let you kind of talk about your family, and this show for sure is going to be focused on family. Mike's been married for a lot of years, and he can give you some insight into that. But he has four beautiful children. And the question for you is if you could pick one essential ingredient per kid, what would it be and why? And I want you to share with the listeners the name and the age and the essential ingredient and how come you picked that one, why you think it's important. No pressure, no pressure.
Oh, no pressure taken. Yeah. When you're talking ingredients now, I start thinking of pizza right away because you guys will figure out my Pasha is a great, I would even say a pizzolo, which is a great pizza maker. And he's mastering the craft as we speak. Once a week, pizza night. Can't wait to get to one of those.
Let me stop you while I can see you're kind of delaying, so you're trying to gather your thoughts. So I'm going to buy you some time since this is just live and we're just talking and not rehearsed or anything. But I will get a plug. We Life's Essential Ingredients is part of C4 Leaders, and C4 Leaders is a grassroots nonprofit in California that is changing their kind of outreach and to be honest, changing our whole makeup of who we are. And so we're starting these pizza nights, We Rise Together. And obviously with COVID, we're not doing anything, but we're setting the table to be ready when everything opens up to go to the community and bring these incredible pizza nights where we drop some C4, which is focusing on communication, chemistry, consistency, and creativity, and then just celebrate and build community. And we're going to do a couple of those a month. And so if you're interested in C4 Leaders coming out to your community, and for right now, it's in the Sacramento, San Francisco Bay Area. but you can reach out. Just Google C4 Leaders, and there's a spot on our website where you can reach out to us, and we'll get that dialogue going and bring pizza night to you once things open up. So hopefully that bought you enough time, Mike. So let's get going with your kids' essential ingredients.
Well, I'm about myself a little more time. In typical Jeff fashion, he's been doing this for many years, and he invited me up. He was doing this leadership training for the girls basketball team at Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. And since Jeff lives in Northern California, I live in Southern California, it was a nice meeting place in between. And in typical Jeff fashion, he invites you there just to kind of watch. And as soon as he gets there, he throws you right in the mix. So here I am with the girls basketball team, their coaches, trainers, all of them. And I'm in this training. All these people know each other very well. Here I am. I just know Jeff, and he's up there doing it, and I'm in the middle of it. And the first time, you don't know what to expect. It all sounds a little, okay, yeah, I'll check it out. But at the end of the day, when you see the transformation, and it was a weekend, if you see the transformation of these girls, it was amazing. And we both coach basketball, and he came down and did it with my team my first year. And you see it makes a huge difference. So it's a wonderful experience, and I'm glad I got thrown into it, kind of like I'm getting thrown into this podcast right now. We'll see where it goes. Every time he throws me in something, it's a good time, so I'm going with it. But all right, we'll talk about my kids now.
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, so my oldest is Mio. He's 22. He's finishing up right now at UC Santa Cruz. Hopefully next week, I think he finally graduates, and then off to the real world. But if I'm thinking of a pizza Mio, he would be like the crust. He wants to carry the load in his own quiet way. He's not terribly outgoing. He's a quiet, kind of thoughtful, bright, super bright kid. But he's like the crust, man. He takes it all seriously. He wants to hold it all together. He's a big time rule follower. And man, he's a down-to-earth kid, and one of the nicest kids you'll meet. He'll do anything for you if you ask him. I mean, you might have to ask him 2 or 3 times, but he'll do it eventually. Yeah, so yeah, Mio, crust.
Nice. I like it. And then Mio's graduating from Santa Cruz now, or I know he's a class or 2 away.
Yeah, he's graduating next week. Just talked to him last night, so hopefully.
Congratulations.
He says he has it in writing now that he's met all his requirements, unlike the summer. Yeah, Mio is sometimes Mio doesn't follow through, or he hears something. So he thought he was going to graduate last year, and then turns out he was short a couple classes. He transferred from a junior college, so he thought he had to take 2 classes during the summer. Turns out he needed 2 more after that, so he finally figured out what he needed. So hopefully we are celebrating real soon.
Well, that's great, and a big accomplishment and achievement for the whole family, and especially for Mio. So congratulations to that. And I love you relating everything to the pizza. You're like taking it over the top now, because I didn't even think that you were going to go there. So Mio is the crust then.
He's a crust. Mio's a crust.
Okay.
And then I'm going to jump around here. I'm not even going in order. That's what I'm doing. Then my third oldest, Thomas, he is 16. He is a junior in high school. And it's kind of funny trying to think what grade he is, because he hasn't really gone to school this year yet, but he's a junior. And man, he's kind of like the cheese. Very solid ingredient, but a lot of times it's overlooked how solid it is, the cheese, because you got all the other stuff going on. But every good pizza got to have the cheese.
Yeah.
And sometimes you don't notice.
Yeah, and the cheese kind of it melts, it spreads out, it adds usually a little bit of salty taste and creamy taste, depending on what kind of spicy.
Absolutely.
Can you imagine a pizza without the cheese?
I agree with you, and that's Thomas, man. He doesn't say a lot, but when he does, he's right there.
Nice.
He's really bright. You might not notice, and when he wants to, he can be very outgoing. but a lot of times it's kind of overlooked. He is one of the middle children, so maybe that has a lot to do with it. And the cheese, it's fun to have cheese. It's gooey, it stretches. That's Tommy, man. He's a lot of fun to be around. Once he gets going, it's a good time.
Nice.
And then my youngest, Marco, who is, how old is Marco now? 11? 12?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, Marco is 11. Um, Marco is like he's like your fancy toppings. You know what I mean? He's not a pepperoni kind of thing. He's like a pineapple maybe. He's a little funny, a little outgoing. Oh,
Hello.
we got a photo bomber on the podcast. That's the wife Glory. She happens to like pineapple pizza.
I love pineapple pizza.
We're on a podcast, lady.
Sorry.
Photo bombing the pod. Is that allowed on the podcast, Pasho?
Have to try and edit it out, or maybe not. It's a family show. So
That goes. We got two dogs up here now too. We going crazy now. It's on. Yeah, Marco is one of those toppings you don't find every day. The chicken on there or something like that. Marco is very fun loving, just likes to dish it out. He'll take it too, and no one cracks himself up like he does. He says a joke and he's just in tears and he can't even talk. It's great. Even if no one else is laughing, it does not matter. And Marco is he's one of those kids that hates to like exercise and run around, but once you get him going, he does a good job and he loves it. So that's Marco, exotic kind of thing.
All right, so just a quick recap. We got Mio, who's a crust. We got Tommy, who's a cheese. We got Marco, who is, we kind of call him a pineapple pretty much.
Did I call him a pineapple?
Exotic topping you were talking about.
Exotic. Pineapple is very exotic. And then we do have one girl in the mix, Daniela. We call her Nella. She is 20. She is born 2 years and 1 day after Mio. So they did not enjoy their shared birthdays once they got a little older. She is a junior at LSU right now. Just came home for the holidays, so we got her quarantined downstairs with her mask on and everything. And man, Nella's like that was like a total pizza. She's like a margarita pizza or something. She's solid. She's got it all. Total pack. Got everything. She's funny. She's outgoing. She cares for people. She shows a lot of love when she wants to. But man, she can dish it out and take it. It's all good. So I think Nella would be all of that kind of combined.
Let me ask.
And she's smart.
Definitely. Let me ask you one question about Nella, since she decided, to go so far away from home. And Mike's in San Pedro, Southern California, and LSU is Louisiana State. And so I don't know how many thousands of miles that is, and that's a whole nother show for our road trip from LSU. But pick one ingredient that you've seen, and you don't even have to relate it to pizza. Just in hearing what you described, Nella, was really refreshing for me to hear, because it was just, I'll just keep it simple, and it was refreshing. But I don't know if you've been able to say that same thing her senior year of high school. So if you would look at the transformation in her from the time she graduated high school to where she is now, just coming home for winter break, what is one ingredient you think that she's taken and made it part of her life recipe to allow herself to transform into the beautiful young lady that she is?
It's very well put. Just so you know, San Pedro to Baton Rouge, where Louisiana Tech is 128.4 miles. Just if anyone's keeping track. Yes. You know what? Yeah.
And car jumps and
I still got that chip in my windshield, by the way.
All right, let's get back to the question. So get serious.
Got it. Nella, the ingredient Nella is, she's definitely sauce. She is sauce, man. Sauce, many different types of sauce, but they all blend into the pizza. And I think Nella has become that, especially since she went away from home, went somewhere where she knew nobody, and she had to make it work because she wanted to leave California all along. She wanted to go to big school. She loves school spirit, so she wanted some a great sports program and a lot of good school kind of functions she can get into. And she found it. She went to visit in Louisiana. And quick story, she applied to all kinds of colleges outside of California, and she just threw in LSU just for the fun of it. She heard about it. She didn't even know where it was. And she got accepted. And we have this really good friend, Uncle Johnny, who is from New Orleans area. And he wanted to fly her out there to show her New Orleans and the school and all that. He has relatives out there. And when she went out there, she fell in love with it. And that's where she wanted to go. And it came with some contingencies, like we're not flying you back every weekend, and you're going out there. You're not going out there and not make it work. You go out there. That's what you want to do. Make it work, or you come to school in California. And I think that really shaped her, molded her. And I think a lot of people have this perception of San Pedro, small town, which is it is. Everyone knows your business, which they do. And a lot of times when you're young, people take that negatively. And I think what she found out is once she left and she comes back, I think she enjoys knowing a lot of people, knowing she's got a million friends here. And I think she enjoys coming back here for family and all that, especially now being away and missing it.
Yeah, no, that's awesome hearing that, and pretty cool to see your kids transform the way they have. And even Mio, not to get too crazy nor to get too personal about Mike and his family, but since he is my best friend, I know a lot of what goes on, and I know Mio, when he was graduating high school, he wasn't even going to graduate because he didn't handle his business in school. He was always very capable student, extremely intelligent, to be honest, probably too smart, and knew that he didn't need to turn his stuff in the very last day to just be able to walk and graduate. But so cool to see him, graduating from a UC school in California, and the UCs, you got to get out. You got to be a great student just to get in there, and then to earn the degree from there has got to be something to make him and you feel really good. And so congrats on all that. And so happy to hear that your kids are doing well, and really loved the tie-in to all the pizza. I love me some pizza.
You do love pizza.
So that was awesome. But yeah, that's about it for me, my Pasho. I appreciate you coming on and us recording this first show of Life's Essential Ingredients. I do know we have a very important guest coming on with our next show. He happens to be one of our friends, Paul Mipsud, CEO of Melita Group.
All right.
He too is a family man, and he's going to talk about some of the challenges that he has with one of his kids. And so it's going to be really good to hear from somebody who on the surface has his life very organized, very, very successful, but then knowing kind of like the iceberg, knowing that underneath the water, which you cannot see, things are not so simple. And he's a guy that somehow just juggles it all. And so we're blessed to have him as part of our trio and one of our best friends. And so, yeah, he's going to be the guest on the show. And with that, my Pasho, I want to tell you one thing. Actually, I hit the wrong button. I'm still learning to use it. So I gave that one to me. That's from my Pasho. All right. C4 leaders. Pasho, you got anything else you want to say?
Yeah, I was watching Saturday morning. I recorded this fishing show down here on the public broadcast network down here. I was watching this guy fish. He's pulling in a fish. He's reeling in a big fish. He stops and he gives one of these. kisses his fingers like that. That's how I want to sign off. A little kiss to you, Pacho.
Your sound guy. Love it. Love it. With that, I'll have to figure out mine. I haven't figured one out. But Pacho, I love you. Appreciate you.
Thanks for having me.
Agreeing. What do you mean having you? We're doing this together. Agreeing to jump into this crazy project. I do know we're going to do some incredible work, and we're going to do a lot of things that are going to help some people figure life out as we are trying to figure it out ourselves. With that, we thank you for listening in to Life's Essential Ingredients. I'm Jeff, and he's
the Mike.
We're out.